The 3 natural foods that transform men over 60. Stop everything you're doing right now. If you're a man over 60 who's lost that spark, that fire you once had, what I'm about to reveal will change everything. In the next few minutes, I'll expose 3 ordinary foods sitting in your kitchen right now that can restore your energy, reignite your confidence, and bring back the man your partner fell in love with. But here's the catch. 99% of men are eating them completely wrong. Stay with me because this could be the most important health discovery of your lifetime. Do you recognize that man staring back at you in the mirror? Most men over 60 don't. There's been a gradual erosion, energy draining away like sand through an hourglass, motivation quietly slipping into the shadows. Those intimate moments that once came naturally now feel like distant memories. But here's what will shock you. Age isn't the real culprit, it's nutritional starvation. Subscribe and engagement call within first minute. Before we dive deeper into this life-changing information, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you're serious about reclaiming your vitality after 60. I'm Dr. Marcus, and for over 3 decades, I've helped thousands of men restore their strength, confidence, and performance naturally without medications, gimmicks, or embarrassment. If this resonates with you, smash that like button and drop a 1 in the comments. If you need different guidance, comment 0 and tell me how I can better serve you. Today, I'm revealing something most physicians won't tell you, a hidden truth that's been concealed in plain sight. 3 specific natural foods possess the remarkable ability to revolutionize blood circulation, amplify testosterone production, and restore the vitality you thought was gone forever. This isn't about casual snacking. This is about scientific precision. These 3 foods don't just work independently. They create a synergistic effect that multiplies their individual benefits. Over the next several minutes, I'll break down each one, explain the science behind their effectiveness, and reveal the optimal timing for maximum results. You'll also discover the most devastating dietary mistake older men make, one that silently sabotages their energy and performance. But more importantly, you'll learn how to reverse this damage and reclaim the man your partner remembers, the one who sleeps deeply and awakens with purpose. Food number 1. Walnuts, the circulation commander. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates the power of this first food. I'll never forget Robert, a 72-year-old patient who walked into my office with the bearing of a defeated man. Sharp as ever mentally, but carrying the weight of frustration in his eyes. "Dr. Marcus," he said, "I'm not the man I once was. Everything feels sluggish. I'm constantly fatigued. And intimacy, well, that's become complicated." This raw honesty isn't uncommon among older men, though it's never easy to witness. I looked Robert straight in the eye and said, "You're not broken. You're simply running on the wrong fuel." That's when I introduced him to walnuts, what I call the circulation commander. Now, you might be thinking, walnuts, really? But most men have no idea that this humble nut contains one of nature's most powerful keys to revitalizing circulation, energy, and overall vitality. The science behind walnuts. Walnuts are packed with L-arginine, an amino acid that serves as the building block for nitric oxide production in your body. Nitric oxide is the miracle molecule that relaxes and dilates your blood vessels, allowing increased blood flow to reach every part of your body that needs it most: your muscles, your brain, and yes, your intimate areas. Here's the critical issue. Nitric oxide production naturally declines as we age. This is why recovery takes longer, why your legs tire more quickly, why you wake up feeling unrested, and why that natural drive in the bedroom seems to have disappeared. It's not about lost desire, it's about compromised delivery. Your blood flow has simply lost its power. But consuming a handful of walnuts daily can begin reversing this decline immediately. I convinced Robert to try something simple. A handful of walnuts every evening, ideally 1 hour before bedtime. No medications, no complex supplements, just pure, natural walnuts. 2 weeks later, Robert returned completely transformed. The light had returned to his eyes, his posture was straighter, and his smile told me everything I needed to know. His energy had rebounded, and his body was responding like it hadn't in years. Beyond circulation, the complete benefits. Walnuts offered benefits far beyond improved blood flow. They're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which support cardiovascular health and combat inflammation, a hidden destroyer of energy, mental clarity, and sexual function in men over 60. Walnuts are among the few plant-based foods that deliver this level of support in a naturally bioavailable form that your body can actually use. There's another reason I specifically recommend walnuts as an evening ritual. They naturally contain melatonin. While most people associate melatonin only with sleep, it actually regulates your entire circadian rhythm, which is essential for hormone production. Better sleep leads to higher testosterone levels during the day. Everything is interconnected. This is why I call walnuts the circulation commander. With one simple daily habit, you're reducing inflammation, supporting heart health, enhancing blood flow, and creating the foundation for improved performance in every area of your life. The best part? It's simple, affordable, and works with your body's natural processes rather than against them. If you've been feeling like your engine isn't running at full capacity, walnuts could be your first step toward restoration. But circulation is only part of the equation.
Food number 2, pistachios, the performance enhancer. Let me tell you about Michael, a 69-year-old patient who exemplified the quiet struggle many men face. A lifelong runner and devoted grandfather, he sat in my office for several minutes before speaking. When he finally did, his voice was barely above a whisper. "Dr. Marcus, I still love my wife deeply, but I've been avoiding intimacy lately. I'm terrified of disappointing her. It's not about desire, the want is still there." This confession is far more common than you might imagine. It's not about lost desire. Most men still have the emotional drive. What they've lost is confidence, that sense of reliability, that courage to be vulnerable. The encouraging news is that many of my patients can rapidly and naturally restore this confidence. And one of the most surprising ways to accomplish this is through pistachios. Yes, the same pistachios you might keep in a snack bowl. Why pistachios are so powerful? Like walnuts, pistachios contain L-arginine, which boosts nitric oxide production and enhances blood flow. But pistachios go several steps further. They're rich in vitamin B6, which helps regulate testosterone, the hormone responsible for masculine energy, muscle tone, and sexual performance. Pistachios also provide a concentrated dose of antioxidants, plant sterols, and healthy fats that support the delicate vascular system responsible for strong erections while reducing inflammation. This isn't just theory. Clinical research has demonstrated that men who consumed pistachios daily for 3 weeks experienced significant improvements in erection firmness, duration, and overall satisfaction. No medications, no procedures, just pistachios. When I shared this research with Michael, he raised an eyebrow skeptically, but agreed to try. I recommended he start with approximately 25 unsalted pistachios daily and maintain consistency. 2 weeks later, Michael returned with renewed energy radiating from every gesture. "Dr. Marcus," he said, "I didn't expect something so simple could work, but my wife noticed the change before I did. I feel like myself again." That kind of transformation is exactly why I do this work. Men like Michael aren't broken, they're simply running on empty. Pistachios provide a powerful, sustained, and gentle way to refuel that tank. Optimal timing for pistachios. Here's something most men don't realize. When you consume pistachios matters significantly. The optimal time is mid-afternoon, specifically between lunch and dinner. This is when your body naturally begins shifting into fatigue mode. Daily testosterone levels start declining, and energy frequently begins to wane. Providing your body with the right nutrients at this crucial time enhances the remainder of your day and optimizes evening performance when it matters most. If you've been struggling with firmness, endurance, or satisfaction, pistachios might be one of the most underestimated solutions hiding in plain sight. They restore not just blood flow and hormonal balance, but the confidence that aging sometimes tries to erode. Pistachios can provide immediate strength and confidence, but there's still one more crucial element to address. Food number 3, Brazil nuts, the hormone restorer. I'll never forget my conversation with Thomas, a quiet 70-year-old who had been feeling completely disconnected from himself for months before visiting my office. He wasn't just exhausted, he was emotionally vacant. "Dr. Marcus," he said, "I'm not depressed. I just feel absent, like I'm going through the motions, but there's nothing inside." His testosterone levels were marginally low, not dangerously so, but sufficient to explain his emotional flatness, lack of motivation, and chronic fatigue. He didn't want injections or medications. He wanted to feel like himself again, naturally. That's when I asked him a question few doctors ever ask. "Have you ever heard of Brazil nuts?" He blinked in surprise. "You mean those large ones in mixed nut containers?" I smiled. "They're much more than just a snack. They might be one of nature's most potent hormone restorers." The selenium connection. Brazil nuts are one of the richest sources of selenium on Earth. This trace mineral is essential, yet most people have never heard of it, and your body cannot produce it independently. For men over 60, selenium is absolutely crucial. It's required for testosterone synthesis, supports sperm quality, and is essential for thyroid balance, which affects energy and metabolism. Perhaps most importantly, it protects and supports prostate health, something every man over 60 should prioritize. I instructed Thomas to start with just one Brazil nut every morning, right after brushing his teeth. That's it. One simple nut daily. No complicated protocols, no expensive supplements. 2 weeks later, I saw a completely different man. His posture was straighter, his gaze was direct, and there was life in his eyes again. "It's like I awakened from a fog," he said. "I'm myself again." I've witnessed this transformation repeatedly, and it's backed by solid science. Selenium deficiency is linked to reduced testosterone, decreased energy, compromised immunity, and increased inflammation. The problem with most supplements. Here's the issue. Most multivitamins contain insufficient selenium to make a meaningful impact. Moreover, too much selenium can be harmful. This is why food sources like Brazil nuts provide the safest and most effective selenium delivery system. It's not about improving lab numbers, it's about helping your body regain balance, which affects your ability to sleep well, think clearly, navigate your day with confidence, and yes, feel powerful and connected to your partner. Moderation and consistency. With Brazil nuts, moderation and consistency are key. Just one nut provides nearly your entire daily selenium requirement. If you're larger or have poor nutrition, 2 nuts are sufficient. More than that is unnecessary and potentially counterproductive. This demonstrates that sometimes the most significant improvements come from the simplest changes. A month later, Thomas brought his wife to his follow-up appointment. She pulled me aside and said, "Thank you for giving me my husband back."
Those moments are why I practice medicine the way I do. The complete protocol, synergistic power. Now you understand how walnuts enhance circulation, pistachios boost performance, and Brazil nuts restore hormonal balance. But here's where the real magic happens. When you combine all 3 correctly at the right times throughout your day, the results aren't just better, they're extraordinary. Let me show you exactly how this works. After decades of helping older men reclaim their vitality, I've developed what I call the complete nut protocol. When followed consistently, it creates a physical, emotional, and intimate transformation that many men haven't experienced in years. The daily protocol. Morning, right after brushing teeth. 1 Brazil nut, only 1. This creates a stable hormonal foundation and kickstarts testosterone production for the entire day. Within days, men report feeling more emotionally present, motivated, alert, and grounded. Mid-afternoon, between lunch and dinner, 20 to 30 unsalted pistachios.
This is when most men feel the day catching up with them, energy declining, focus wavering. Instead of reaching for another coffee or sugary snack, pistachios provide what your body actually needs. Vitamin B6 for stable testosterone, healthy fats for cardiovascular health, and arginine for nitric oxide production. Evening, 1 hour before bed. 7 to 10 walnut halves. This evening dose is more than just a snack. It's part of your recovery system. The natural melatonin prepares your body for deep, restorative sleep. The omega-3s reduce inflammation, and the arginine enhances nighttime circulation. Sleep is the foundation of everything: testosterone production, mood regulation, energy restoration, and muscle recovery. Too many men overlook this critical component. Why this protocol works? The power of this protocol isn't just in the nutritional content. It's how these foods align with your body's natural rhythms throughout the day. Hormone activation in the morning, energy and circulation support in the afternoon, and repair and restoration in the evening. This is nature supporting your biology, not fighting against it. Most importantly, it's sustainable. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle or eliminate foods you enjoy. Add these 3 simple habits, 3 small handfuls of real whole food, and your body will handle the rest. Some patients notice improvements within 7 days. Their partners typically notice changes around day 14. By day 30, many report feeling like a completely different person, more capable, more connected, more alive. Reclaiming your inner strength. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with hundreds of men, and here's what I've learned. Most don't come to me seeking to run marathons or build perfect physiques. They come because they sense something within them fading, and they refuse to lose it all. They want to feel powerful, desired, and fully alive again. They want to feel like themselves. That's why I shared these 3 foods with you today, not as a quick fix or temporary solution, but as a powerful, natural way to begin repairing what time and stress may have damaged. Walnuts to restore circulation and unlock blood flow. Pistachios to rebuild confidence, strength, and firmness during those intimate, quiet moments. Brazil nuts to replenish the hormones that fuel your vitality, emotions, and masculinity. By combining all 3 into the complete protocol, you're giving your body exactly what it needs at precisely the right time. Real food, consistent action, no guesswork. I've watched men in their 60s, 70s, and even late 80s transform their lives with this approach. Not because they were trying to become someone else, but because they wanted to feel like themselves again. And they did. Here's what I want you to know. It's not too late. You're not past your prime. You're not broken. You're just out of sync. The good news is that you can find your rhythm again, starting with something as simple as eating the right nuts at the right times. You deserve to feel strong again. You deserve to feel connected to yourself, to your partner, and to the life you've worked so hard to build. So start today. Take that first small step. 1 Brazil nut with breakfast, some pistachios in the afternoon, a few walnuts before bed, and watch as your body begins to respond. Your energy returns, your strength rebuilds, and your confidence is restored. Remember this. You're still the same man you've always been. He didn't disappear. He's just been waiting for you to come back to him. And now you can. Final call to action. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share it with a friend who might need to hear this, and drop a comment below telling me about your journey. Your success story could inspire another man to reclaim his vitality. And if you want to stay updated with more life-changing health information for men over 60, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Every small action counts, and I truly appreciate your support in spreading this important message.